Hi there. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve Gearhart, and this is Brian. This is a little show I put on this channel, talk about food, drink, and all that good stuff. This week, you get a twofer. We're going to talk about two things real quick. We're going to talk about Bar Hill Raw Honey, and then we're going to talk about Pemmican. Yes, Pemmican. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to start with Bar Hill Raw Honey. We're going to talk about this today. Bar Hill, as you probably already know, makes a very good gin and vodka. It is based out of the beautiful Vermont, which is kind of important, and I'll tell you why in a moment. They are also part of the Caledonia Spirits program. They got a nice little place out there where you can actually go out, eat, and taste their wares and all that good stuff. So, the thing about this, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because Bar Hill, like I said, makes a pretty good gin. Their botanicals are pretty much what they grow there in Vermont, so that's kind of important. And they try to keep it as green as possible, which means that they naturally let the bees, do their business, pollinate all the botanicals that they use. And so, as part of the byproduct of making the spirits and stuff, they also make the honey. Now, this is kind of fun. They have other stuff. If you go online, you can actually buy this online. $13.99, I think, is the price. And they make this raw honey. And what raw honey means is that it's basically not pasteurized or anything. So this is actually the real deal. It will crystallize over time, and all you have to do really is just take the jar, open it up, put it in some kind of like very warm water, and stir it until it liquefies a little bit. But that is what raw honey is, and there's a lot of taste to it. So in theory, what you should be tasting in the honey is also what you should be tasting in their gin and vodka, because as they distill the spirits, they actually use this honey to provide some of the additional flavors in addition to the botanicals. So that's, I think, really pretty kind of cool. And this stuff apparently makes a really good simple syrup. Basically, what you want to do, the directions on the back here tells you. Mix your own with 1 part warm water and 2 parts raw honey until the honey is dissolved, and keep in a closed jar for, according to this, for a month in the fridge. So if you want to make your own simple syrup using raw honey, that's a pretty good idea. Maybe not just this honey, but any type of real raw honey. And for those of you who are just like, so what's the difference between this and the stuff in the little plastic bears that I find in the grocery stores? Well, that stuff is very much manufactured. Yes, it is honey, but there's a lot of stuff in there. It's pasteurized, so you lose a lot of flavors. You lose a lot of the umami that makes up raw honey. When I was a kid, this was a big deal for me. I wasn't allowed to eat a lot of Oreos and stuff like this, so honey was a big sweets for me. So I'm looking forward actually to making a simple syrup out of this and using it. That sounds really kind of interesting. But now we're going to taste it. So we're going to open this up. Oh, it's got that wonderful, wonderful raw honey smell, almost like clover a little bit. Yeah, you can definitely smell like all the plants that the bees. Oh, this is good. Oh yeah, this is why Bar Hill makes a good product in terms of their gin. If they're putting this in their gin, then that makes a lot of sense why Bar Hill's a good gin to have. All right, so let's do the taste test. It smells awesome. I'm betting it's gonna taste awesome. So there we go. I don't know if you can see that. Can you tell I'm enjoying this? Wow, I could totally eat this whole thing like right now. This is really good. It's got that honey sweetness. It's not as cloying as what you would get in those little plastic bear bottles that you get there. I imagine that would probably be good with tea as well. Get it nice and dissolved in your teas. If you like to make homemade tea. Wow, this is really, really good. Yeah, so like I said, you can go online, Bar Hill, CaledoniaSpirits.com, I believe. They have an online store. You can order that. It's like a pound tub for $13.99. I encourage you to get it. I really can't wait to make a simple syrup out of this. Again, 2 parts warm water, or I'm sorry, 1 part warm water to 2 parts of the honey. So we'll see how that works out. But get it, you'll love it. It's so good. So what is pemmican? Pemmican is kind of unusual. It's got a nice history, particularly colonial history here in North America. It's definitely one of those things where it's just like, it came out around probably the same time as like beef jerky, but as you can tell, it's not beef jerky. It's very kind of like a bar shaped, very compact. It's very dense, but it has that smell. It has that jerky smell. So there's, you're talking about whatever meat that you're using, whether it's venison or beef or cow, whatever, pork, whatever it is that you're using. There's tallow involved. Usually some type of dried berries are put into it. There's a process, of course, that you kind of make it, and then you chop it up into these bar shapes, and they are very protein rich. These are like the original like power bars, right? In the very late 1600s and 1700s, going into the 1800s. This is something that colonials would use as they're traveling, as they're hunting. This was particularly important in the fur trade around Montreal and what we now is Canada. So this is a very important historical food, and it really fed the frontier and kept people going. Like I said, it's very, very rich in protein. Unfortunately, I don't have the tools right now to make my own, but you can find pemmican usually in butcher shops. I got this one at let me see if I get the name right. It's John Brown General and Butchery, or also known here in Baltimore as Fine Meats and Tasty Treats. It's in Baltimore. I'll put the link to it down below. I can tell you that they make an outstanding beef jerky. I've bought their beef jerky before. I've had lunch there. They serve lunch. So if you happen to be in Baltimore and you want a good lunch, with fine meats, and also if you want to get a good cut of meat, please check this place out. Again, the link will be down below. Now, of course, have had beef jerky. I'm pretty adventurous when it comes to food, but I've never heard of pemmican before. I saw another YouTube channel called Towson's who does a lot of 17th and 18th century history kind of stuff, and he does talk about pemmican, and it looked kind of interesting. So when I came across to the butcher shop and I happened to see it, came in a vacuum sealed pouch, I was like, well, why not? Give it a try. Apparently, there might be some chokeberries and blueberries in this. I can kind of see it a little bit. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's little dark spots, circles. I think those are the berries. So, enough talking about this. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a taste. It definitely smells like beef jerky. It's got a little bit of a greasy exterior to it, but that kind of makes sense because it's tallow, grease, and meat and all that stuff put together. And you can kind of see some of the berries in there. Yep, let's take a bite. That's very nice. So, I'm looking at the bite marks. I don't know if you can see it, but it almost looks like a brownie. It's not. It's very soft. And I think that's where the tallow comes in. It tastes a little bit of the berry there. Taste a lot of the meat. You can tell that this is smoked. Yeah, I mean, you can almost taste the energy in this. I got a big old bite of the blueberry. I can see why this would be good traveling food, and why this was so important. It's a very small, compact thing, so it's not going to take a lot of room in your backpack. It's not going to take a lot of room that you would need for other things. Definitely chock full of energy in here. easy to eat. There's nothing gamey about it. Like I said, it's very soft. It's not chewy at all. Wow, this is really, really good. So again, if you happen to be in Baltimore, you want to get some good pemmican, I'd hardly recommend it. Again, the link is down below. If you want to try to make your own, please do. Let me know how that works out, and someday I'll try to make my own, because this is actually really, really tasty. Okay? Yeah, so that's pemmican. Sweet. Okay, so that ends our twofer of raw honey and pemmican. I hope you enjoyed the video. I actually enjoyed making this video. I got to eat some good stuff here. So yeah, links down below. Caledonia Spirits, I'll have the link down there. A link to Towson's, he's got a good channel. And also, of course, to the butcher shop here in Baltimore. So check those guys out. Please do send them some love and buy some of their products. And again, thanks again so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, hit that bell. And I think the next video is we're going to pickle some red onions. Alright guys, see you next time.